we're not the body, we're not the mind, we're not the identity. We're connected to a spirit, infinite spirit presence that we can tap into. And if we set our vibration right, we'll get whatever we want instantly. Yeah, like that. It's all that all space is like everything's in the moment, and total fulfillment from that infinite potentiality, which they call God. In some places call God, and then so you're always looking inside yourself for what is God? What is in me that infinite connection?
Well, there doesn't need to be any mysticism attached to it. Like a living person can know the mechanical nature of the whole, which is there is one thing, and all that is an extension of it. And so you are the only thing that exists, and you are the universe. Mechanically, your history goes back through the Big Bang forever. The events that made you have been destined for infinity. And so what would God do? You're seeing it.
Exactly. Yeah, I see that. I see that. This is it. But yet we're in this like slave condition. I mean, there's nothing we can do about it. Like try and understand what a healing would look like, and it involves a whole change in the establishment as it is, medical, educational, spiritually. Like it all needs to be re-understood or really looked at. What are we believing in? Like what is our condition? Like we're not unified in that singularity.
Well, brains have an intrinsic relationship to truth. And so the closer we get to objective understanding, the more our brains will rebel when we deny it. And so it's not about doing, just love truth. And if you have habits or just conditioning that relies on things you come to know as false, your brain will agitate you until you deal with it.
Right, and that's what we're doing. We're dealing with it. I'm dealing with it. Right. But how do you settle it? Like change it to the way it ought to be.
Well, hopefully you discover patience, and then the empathy enough to understand that we're all in hell. Even the most instigational, psychotic of us is a kid that's just gone nuts. And so, if we're lucky enough to find the high truth, we don't need to be burdened with hate and resentment, because none of it is a result of choice. Choice being wholly tyrannical delusion. And that's why they say pride is a sin. Because pride presumes humans are magically special, with the capacity to originate thought or make thought out of nothing. So be not proud, and everything else will happen as it will.
got to disliking it is as it is. I didn't like that. And so I said, no, it's not. It's an illusion.
Patience.
There's a when I lose, I wouldn't say I lose patience, but when I say okay, I'm patient, I'm waiting. What is it I'm looking for when I'm being patient, and I'm waiting for that opportune moment where you can actually make something happen, and you're not, or even going down a river or something. You're fully engaged in the moment, or climbing a mountain,
Or dancing.
or dancing, right? Any of those you're looking for those moments of exhilaration and in the moment experiences. And so I look at it and I say, okay, fundamentally, we have to establish reality as truth, like the true state of our being. And then so then when I get active in that way, that's where I run into difficulties, because you can't remove those obstacles which are forcing conditions which are not in their best interest to continue with, and we can't change them. There's this huge process of control, and to get control, you basically have to sell out to the establishment, or they won't pay attention to you. They'll like you said, if they show too much opposition or support, they're going to be excluded. They'll be cut off. Yeah. So you got to be careful what you say. Always. And so nobody can say anything that really makes a change, because there's so much opposition to keep it and support to keep it the way it is, because they're in control of it. So they don't want change unless they're in control. And then they might say that of you too. You want control, right? And because we can't change it from this position. And they don't know, like all the makeup of what might happen should the shit hit the fan. What's going to be the condition we're in to meet it. And there's no preparation. Where people aren't getting together on preparing for a crisis, should it happen. And it is happening. But they got the land all tied up. They've got, the church is locked. The schools are going in a different direction. So when I look at this condition of our being in this situation, it's like it carries a lot of anxiety. When you can't do anything about it, you have to do what's necessary.
Well,
at the moment.
In the least, you maintain your sanity.
Yeah, that's what you got to. That's the whole of it.